The reason why we haven't spoken about this champion select, guys, is because this is what's happened last time.
Yeah. This
we felt like we didn't need to fake it a second time, given the fact that we already had the script, of course.
Okay. Personal, and so that'll do some of the legwork for Kingzone, but obviously, yes, the Azir is one of the main problematic champions that they're going to end up facing. So overall, mid-game is going to be the most important thing. If SKT gets ahead, it's going to be near impossible for Kingzone to stabilize.
Well, we'll see whether they can as we get into game number 2. Kingzone with not so many fans in the audience here today. SKT certainly with the louder voices, but still a little bit quiet as far as LoL Park is concerned. We've heard louder cheers in other games.
Well, maybe maybe they're just really excited. Maybe they're just overcome.
Yeah, just trying to hold it in.
Yeah,
you know, overcompensating.
Like Khan was trying to hold himself inside that Baron pit outside of vision.
Yep.
Ended up getting spotted by a blind monk. How does that even happen? Probably using echolocation.
Yeah, probably. Is he a dolphin?
Well,
I mean, they use sonar, don't they?
I'm lost sight, so sometimes I use echolocation.
Do you?
Yeah, I do.
Whoa. Wow, that's cool.
Tell you that, yeah.
That's really cool. That's what bats do, isn't it? Echolocation?
Yeah, I believe so. Yeah. Actually, you are so intelligent.
Well, thanks. I am. Do you know what? I'm actually just a David Attenborough fan.
Okay.
As SKT with a sneaky little invade, cuz gonna sniff it out. That's what happens when you play traditional trunk.
Yeah.
You got your Pillar of Filth, you know, it's a little bit more stinky.
So this is, interestingly enough, coming at a cost. You can see the way that Rascal's positioning, and it's because he wants to zone Khan out of the first 6 minions and get an experience advantage in that department. So what they're trading is Khan falling pretty, moderately far behind, at least for the early duration of the laning phase, in exchange for putting Cuz behind on the Lee Sin.
Probably important. As Rascal getting some autos over onto Khan before he transfuses him with that Crimson Rush. Gonna find it, gonna use it on a minion. Not gonna use it on a minion, never mind. Throws it out on Khan there, who does have himself that magic damage shield. That is, of course, the change on 9.14, which is the patch that we're currently on. Just to refresh you guys, Talia and Jace are now re-enabled after their issues last week. Week 7 was a no Talias and Jace allowed week. This time around, you are allowed to play them. Mordekaiser, not so lucky.
You know, Mordekaiser, people wouldn't pick him anyway. Alice, let's just be honest.
I'm a bit sad about that.
He was already bad in 9.14, and then they did him even more dirty.
Yep. Poor Mordekaiser.
Yeah. Something.
Yeah. Sad time. Teddy and Effort underneath their turret at the moment. You can see Deft and Tucson playing pretty far up in this lane at this point in time, despite having that range disadvantage. It's just the power of this combo this early on. Cuz is going to miss a Q on a PvE target.
Blind Monk.
Yeah, Rift Scuttler is the best Juker in the game. Let's be real.
It is definitely impressive. But so far, the junglers are going to end up finding each other. Clid, though, definitely has the better end of this jungle opening. Lee Sin's probably just going to path now to the left-hand side. Scuttlecraft, try to pick that up, but Clid might just try to run to it.
Well, Tectonic Destruction is fantastic onto Faker there as the geometry is going to land. Takes a fair bit of damage, but doesn't even have to use the heal or the flash. As meanwhile on top side, Rascal looks for the extra damage, but Khan finds the brush. And the Silas is going to win out on that one very, very nicely. And now Clid, with control of both of his lanes, is going to bully Cuz off this Rift Scuttler very comfortably. And should be looking towards a 3-buff double Scuttle start made famous by our friend Score.
And also he left one of the small wolves. And so Cuz is just in a world of hurt right now. He is so crippled inside of this jungle. Clid's about to hit level 5 shortly. And remember, Cuz is about 3.4.
Yeah, he's not having a great time. Goes
So,
home,
yeah.
picks up not very much.
And also look at the ping. Clid now rushing over to the rubber band camp.
Oh god.
And let's see if Agatha's level 5. Well, they're not going to click on it. I do believe that she's level 5, so he's getting bonus XP from killing this. And it's just that much more painful.
This is an absolute jungle clinic being put on by Clid right now. As Cuz is just desperately trying to find something to kill that's a jungle camp. Finally, the Krugs are going to respawn, and he's at least going to be able to get himself up to 20, which is going to mean that he has half of the camps taken that Clid has been able to destroy on this map.
When I hear you do math, I just...
It's pretty good, isn't
I
it?
get very excited to know that I'm casting.
It's impressive.
Yes.
It's impressive stuff.
It really is.
Hearthstone caster, by the way. Have done that before. Famously terrible at calculating lethal.
Okay.
As Neon clearing out waves with his Void Rift. Some great ability names on Vel'Koz. Just fantastic. I think I spoke about it with Papa Smithy when Lion played it earlier on. Sorry, when Fly played it earlier on.
And you know what? Speaking of Papa Smithy, perhaps not everyone knows where he is today.
Oh, right. Okay, just if you guys don't know, Papa is in Europe at the moment, going to be on the LEC in a couple of days. So be excited for that. You miss him here in Korea. You are going to give him back, though, right? So Europe is going to give Papa back. We're going to have it for week 9. All will be well.
All will be well.
We're just going to enjoy the week of LS.
Yeah. That's pretty much it. As I will be here all 4 days.
I hope so.
I'm going to miss you.
I'm going to miss you too.
Tomorrow
I mean,
and the next day.
I'll be back.
I'm already missing you.
Oh, really?
Every time I look at the screen, I just start to miss you, and I get so anxious. You know, it's like when you think that you dropped your wallet in public or something.
Yeah, it's like the phantom limb problem.
I turn my head over to you right away, and I'm just like, oh, you're still here.
Don't worry, I'm here.
Yeah.
I'm here.
I'm like a dog with separation anxiety.
If you guys want to see how wholesome the friendship actually is, you can go over to Twitter and check it out. Kenzie did post some pretty adorable photos as well. So there we go. There's a bit of a shout out to LS and I, as Neon is going to shoot Faker with the Lifeform Disintegration Ray and look for the geometry for the extra kill. It's going to be fine. Faker does have to use the heal though. Clid going to be taking down an Ocean Drake, a disaster. The 23rd Ocean Drake for SKT.
Yeah.
As Emo Plague is down topside. Rascal dodging the abilities though. Pretty nice stuff here as Crimson Rush has to be used just to get health back. And Khan very comfortably winning that exchange of ultimates. Oh! Lands the Abscond as well, but Sanguine Pool's pretty good move as Khan under the turret. Going to take a couple of turret shots, but otherwise not too bad. Trading flashes is probably good here for the SKT top laner because he is going to make sure that Rascal heads back home, and the lane state is going to mean that Rascal loses a hell of a lot of money. Deft going to get knocked up. Clid gets here at just the right time. Pillar placement is fantastic. Featherstorm comes down. Not a lot of mana onto Teddy. Blakecore is not going to do anything though, and Teddy picks up the first blood.
Teddy picks up the first blood, and now they're going to be able to crash this wave down in bottom. And Deft, he doesn't have teleport. He is running heal on that Xayah. And so SKT, they're going to feel really good about their current state in this game. So it's going to end up recalling. We're going to have to see if he paths right over to the blue buff to hand it off to Faker, or if he's going to go over to the left-hand side jungle as the lane is coming into Khan. As we take a look, as Tushen cast the ultimate, but not really too much going for him, and you have to wonder why they're playing this aggressive, not respecting Clid. He just comes in, Deft has flash, but knows there's really nothing to do with it.
Yeah, and the thing is, when you throw down a Solar Flare and it gets instantly cleansed, why not just wait for your Solar Flare to come back and do it again? I feel like that's
Stop.
they had.
Stop asking questions that make sense, okay?
Okay. I'll go back to my original style. Khan takes down the Rift Scuttler on the top side once again, Cuz just not having a great time on Summoner's Rift. Faker going to add to that particular struggle. As Neon coming on over, does have that R button back available again. Words are really difficult today. The geometry not going to find the target.
Ooh.
Faker's just, he's an angry man.
Yeah, I'm surprised that Nahyun actually allowed him to go over and do that. but nonetheless, they're just going to wave clear back and forth.
Yep. Void Rift pretty good at that.
It is.
Now comes over, throws some geometry over it. Blue buff in his... Oh no. Cuz got a camp, but it was the wrong one. What a disaster.
This is not the best situation in the world.
Kingzone are currently introducing bad to their new friend Worse, I believe, as another ocean.
It's just very rainy here.
It is. Well, we were talking about monsoon season last week,
yeah.
and it's continuing to be about that here in Korea. It's just stinky weather. It really is. We were mentioning the fact that it was raining a heck of a lot. It continued to be about 35 degrees, it felt like, during thunderstorms.
Yeah, it was miserable. It really was. Everything just felt wet and sticky. You couldn't even really step outside.
Yeah, which is why LS had to cancel our Lion King day. It wasn't me. And then he decided to slander me about it on Twitter.
Ridiculous. You know, I just don't even want to hear about this anymore.
Neither do
the
I.
Lies are so outlandish. The reason that I had to cancel was because I pre-ordered the tickets in my name. And I got a message from Atlas saying, I can't make it today. Can we reschedule? I said, all right, I guess.
Well, Solar Flare going to land onto Faker there. The flash in from Tucson. Emperor's Divide pushes them back, though, and Faker says, see you guys. Still haven't flashed, by the way.
Right now, in this current game, though, everything is going really poorly for Kingzone. They're behind in this current game state. Normally, gold scores are not always indicative of who might really be ahead or behind, but the Lee Sin is going to be virtually non-existent in the later stage team fights. The Vladimir is doing fine, as is the Vel'Koz, but...
Oh, that's frustrating.
These turret plates across every lane, not going to be doing so hot, and also Vel'Koz shouldn't be going even with the Azir in mid, even though he is up one turret plate.
Yeah, he should just be winning, right?
He should be winning slightly harder than this, and also the lane and tempo priority should have been able to be a little bit different. Unfortunately, though, super early on, Cuz was offset by that jungle start.
Yeah, so you can't really blame Neon for how this lane has gone, because if you don't have a jungler, as it turns out, you just can't play the lane like you have an advantage like that. It's just not how that one works. Vision here available for Kingzone, as Shelly is started by Clid. And as there are 3 people back home, looks like this should just be taken by SKT. Teleport comes through from Neon. And Khan moves on down. Rascal is here. Clid continues to hold on to Shelly. Khan just trying to play goalkeeper here, keeping them out of the way with the chain lash. Effort comes on over. Faker in as well. Doesn't have Emperor's Divide just yet. But Neon unable to find anyone with the Plasma Fission. Rascal gets on in. Hemo Plate goes down. Clid going down very, very low. As Cuz is going to be able to take the Rift Herald, but pays for it with his life. Rascal now as well has to go golden. Life Bomb Disintegration Ray as good as Khan is burning to death. Rascal jumps on over. The quickness comes down as Effort has to go golden, but it's not enough. Clid comes in, gets a whole bunch of health back and deft. Great timing on the Featherstorm, and that will spell the end of Faker's life. I believe Kingzone may have just found their way back in.
Yeah, Kingzone definitely found
with a
their
super
way.
soaker. Teddy down to half health, but is going to survive with the flash.
And so Kingzone, interestingly enough, not coming out of that at a disadvantage. In fact, they're going to have tempo on the lane priorities.
Yeah.
And everything seems to be in an okay state. We'll take a look at how everything transpired right here. Tushin, he whiffed his ultimate, but Kingzone managed to steal away the Herald right in front of SKT. If SKT back off at this point, all is well for them. However, they wanted to force the agenda because Faker felt like he was very confident in his position. Rascal ended up being brought down shortly after killing Khan, and then 2 birds of a feather did not lock together right there.
No, and Effort actually walked into the Blade Caller, which is a big problem. We did have the Eye of the Herald picked up, and I like that it's Neon that grabbed it as well, of course, coming from the Void. Thematically makes a lot of sense, and also matches the Vel'Koz's base skin colors. Nicely done. Kingzone DragonX, we'll see where they actually plop Shelly down. 14 minutes and 30 seconds on the clock, meaning that no plates are going to be available for Shelly to tear out of these turrets.
What if she doesn't even like her job? You ever considered that?
I mean, there's a lot of people who don't like their jobs, man.
Yeah.
It's not uncommon.
Well, 10 seconds.
What, I mean, what is her job?
Her demolition.
All right.
Yeah.
I guess that does make
Yeah,
sense.
she works in construction.
But what if, like, she's actually just an accountant? Is Faker going to get slowed by the solar flare, but not
She's
actually
like a
going
debt
to die?
collector.
Yeah.
She
and
comes knocking.
Yeah, and this is what happens when she gets called. Is okay, cuz he's going to dive on forward. Not going to die just yet, but good position there from Khan. Disintegration Ray's picked up, and Neon has to flash to get out of the way. Faker's Sand Soldiers obliterating the members of Kingzone, but it's a good knock-up. And that's going to be Rascal that locks down the kill onto the SKT mid laner. It is a 1-for-1 thus far, but Kingzone will have priority here in this lane as Def going aggressive. Khan, one more auto is going to take him down, and Kingzone now going to get back to their previous business. And Khan just offering up a kill.
Yeah, Shelly has one more charge available, and with the position that Kingzone have right now, all is well.
Yeah, Shelly going to get a raise this game as she's even going to plow forward for another one. Clid going to be able to stop her just slightly short, but inner turret falling in the mid lane is huge for map advantage for Kingzone. Yeah,
the inner turret going down is massive map control and just vision. And with Vel'Koz's being perfectly healthy, that's going to be a thorn in SKT's side later on. So we see how this all transpires. Effort brings Kuz right into Teddy. They didn't quite have the damage to knock him down right away. And then Khan's Disintegration Ray, not the best.
Well, I mean, it did a bit of stuff, but you're exactly right. Not exactly getting the most value as Tucson limps away with about 0 health.
And then Faker bit off a little bit more than he could chew right there as Shelly. She emptied that turret of all that it had.
Yeah. Wished that there were some plates left, but this particular IKEA didn't have any stock. Faker towards the bottom side of the map now. No teleport available for the Azir, but no Baron on the map at the moment. Not really worth a discussion. Cloud Drake in 4.5 minutes. Speaking of high-value targets to be taking. And once again, Kingzone versus SKT, even in game number 2. Things in the mid-game going to be extraordinarily even as Neon going to get mispositioned there as Kuz kicks back the Trundle. But trading Pillar for Ultimate is a trade that you'd make almost any day.
Yeah. Faker now down in bottom lane, just trying to clear out the wave as Deft is getting a lot of chip damage onto the turret.
Able to get some chip damage onto Faker there as well, as you could see. Rascal on top side as well, just splitting as the Vladimir. So things moving from what was a pretty difficult position for Kingzone in the early game to a pretty comfortable one, as even Kuz has been able to find some sneaky camps around this map.
Well, this is that mid-game spike where the Kingzone team composition with the Vlad and the Vel'Koz really wants to try to do something until the Azir just gets really out of control in the later stages, as well as the Sylas, who's going to be able to steal away the Vel'Koz ultimate and use it against them.
Doesn't exactly have as many of those download mechanics that Neon can certainly do to bring the true damage advantage. I'm not entirely sure how the Lifeform Disintegration Ray works, because as you know, it stacks up the passive as it goes out. It's not going to do that if you use it as a Sylas, because of course you don't have the same passive, so you're not going to actually get that true damage value.
Kennen, I believe, oh man, see.
And oh wait, does Kennen stun though?
This.
That is a...
Yeah, Kennen, see, we're supposed to know this, Atlas.
I think we've asked this question before. We got the answer. I think we were wrong, and now we've forgotten again. So I'm going to blame it on old age. I'm an old man, just can't remember anything anymore.
Oh man. Well,
we'll have to figure it out.
Someone's going to have to tweet at us.
Yeah.
What's going on here?
Tweet at us and give you a shout out. How about it? If you cite your source as well. Neon in the mid lane just throwing down Void Rift after Void Rift, just to make sure that he can clear out minion waves. Very comfortably does so on the Vel'Koz. SKT on the bottom side though, putting on some pressure as Clid puts down the stinky ground. And a Pillar of Filth also, that is otherwise unable to deter Kingzone from killing all of the creeps.
I love this new build, by the way, that so many champions do, with the GLP, the Twin Shadows, and the Glacial.
Yep. Me too, big fan.
Yeah.
Should be a Zonya's Hourglass coming afterwards, right?
Yeah.
Should be the next option here for Naeun. Probably wants to get himself a pretty cool hat as early as possible as well, right? Just because Vel'Koz scales so well.
Probably be the 4th item, most likely.
One of those things, I mean, Vel'Koz fits into the same category as Xerath, right? Has 4 abilities that all do damage and a passive that also does damage.
Yeah. You know, Xerath just got buffed in 9.15. I'm really curious to see if that'll help him come back into the meta, especially given the way that the current mid lane meta is right now. But he tends to be one of those champions that, even for pro players, he's too hard, which is pretty rare, but sometimes that does happen.
I mean, there was a meta back in 2015 where it was just all, instead of Azir Corki, it was Azir Xerath every single game.
Yes, that was
good times.
Yes.
It was when I was a big Xiaohu fan when he was playing for Gamti back in the day in the LPL. Bit of a throwback if you remember the Gamti lineup. They had Let Me on it as well, which is also an RNG top laner, and they had little pandas on their brown jerseys. It was adorable. Definitely the best jersey in any league I have ever seen.
What?
Yeah, little just adorable pandas decorating their jerseys for reasons unknown. It was just so good.
Well, that's why they say beauty's in the eye of the beholder, right?
Is that why they say that?
I do believe so.
Oh, okay. I actually thought that it was for different reasons. Okay. Well, Faker down on the bottom side, just looking to clear out minion waves. As disintegration rate coming on in here is cleared. Getting slowed down. All of the buttons landing apart from the solar flare due to the flashes. Now Rascal. Kingslayer gets some work done from Khan, but can he actually survive here? Rascal looking for a sanguine pull. The flash has to be used, as the Abscond did not land. Khan still looking for another one, though. Dashes forward. He's going to land that one, but a pull is now available. And just smacked down with the chains of the law, as SKT are going to be able to get it done. They're not going to be able to take that dragon on the bottom side of the map. Kingzone do get that one for themselves and still have a gold lead. But now tempo advantage as jungler and top laner move towards the top lane outer turret.
Yeah, and it does look like Klid and Khan should be able to raise this top tier 1 turret, and the current game state, Kingzone, they didn't do anything with their 2 items on their champions. It looks like they are content for some reason to go even longer in this game, but that's really going to diminish their chances at having a way to win, because yet again, they have a team composition that wants to go into their opponent. And this is just going to be very awkward as we take a look at what's happening here on the right-hand side. Narrowly able to escape was Faker.
Yep, and this was just the 1v1 gone wrong here for Rascal as Hemo Plagues are traded. And Khan utilizing that magic damage shield and the Kingslayer very, very well.
Yeah.
Not entirely sure what that flash was dodging because he still got hit by the Tides of Blood.
And then right here, he whiffed. Just a little bit mistimed. For a lot of people that don't know, one of the ways to time it perfectly, left-click the champion. At the top, there's a debuff that'll show when the Zanya's going to end. You can just time it against that.
Yeah, it's a good
But
idea.
sometimes people do just try to muscle memory it.
Yeah. It's a toughie.
Yep.
The rhythm can be learned.
It can.
It's Kingzone getting some vision around this Baron. 3 minutes since Baron has showed up on the Rift. Often has a late arrival here, late start time for this particular gentleman. Shelly getting all the work done in the morning, and then Baron comes in the evening.
Do you think that, like, Baron comes in and relieves her?
Yeah, I think that might be what it is. Bit of a trade in shifts as Khan goes golden for some reason. And Klid looking for the dive. Khan probably would have wanted that particular ability as Hemo Plague coming in.
Okay.
The chains come down one more time, and it looks like SKT don't even really care about this turret damage, wanting to keep those minions alive and get some more global gold into their pockets. They do so comfortably as Deft is trying to exchange it. On the top side, Super Soaker utilized in the mid lane from Naeun, but he's unable to clear the backline of minions. That Void Rift doesn't have that range, my friend. It's only Deft that's able to get anything back here for Kingzone.
And so they actually trade top tier 2 for bottom tier 1, but in the end, it's still going to be a win for SKT because anything that is going even benefits them more than Kingzone. 50 gold for SKT is not 50 gold for Kingzone. Kingzone needs more resources in order to stay even inside of this game. As we take a look at how this all transpires, it's Rascal constantly going for these small pokes on Khan, and keep poking the bear.
Yeah. And Khan keeps getting gigantic Kingslayer value
Yeah.
against Rascal as well, hitting every button this time around apart from the Abscond, but it was Sanguine Pool there that was allowing that one to work out. And the chain lashes are landing nicely. Deft looking for effort, but Battle Dance is going to get him back to Teddy and to safety. Teddy is really big this game as well, just quietly. 450 gold bounty as well as 2.5 items. Similar to Deft in the item department, but it's very close to picking up that next one. Should be a rapid fire cannon, most likely.
Really interesting, actually. Vel'Koz picked up an Oblivion Orb super late into the game. I would really hope that it's not going to be the Morella Nomicon.
The Omnomnomicon?
The Omnomnomicon, yeah.
It is actually pretty high value against this team.
Oh, I get it now.
Oh, yeah.
Morella Nomicon, because you're eating away their ability to regain life. You see how that works?
Oh, okay.
You picking up what I'm putting down?
I thought if it was your opinion, then you'd say it's Omnomnomicon because they're just feeding instead of picking up that item.
Oh yeah, I mean that too. But
that's
we gotta be a little bit nicer when we say it sometimes. Okay?
All right. Okay. Sorry.
All right.
Don't
worry.
Lessons from LS about being nice. Fantastic.
Absolutely.
That's what I need.
Now, when he buys that book, don't worry. I'll let you know that he's turbo feeding. Okay.
All right. Cool.
So.
Good. Just as long as you haven't changed as a person, because, I'm scared of change. I'm no cards so all right? Change, not good. It's 500 gold bounty, though. Teddy, 450 gold bounty for Khan. SKT have well and truly turned this one around. That being said, it's not reflected in the gold, as you can see. Neon misses a cannon creep, and it's all over for Kingzone DragonX. Go next. It's all about them cannon creeps. As SKT should be able to find themselves an Ocean Drake, finally. The Open Drakes have been rife on the Rift here today, but if you get the third one, it's like a free Warmogs for everyone.
Well, does look like Kingzone is posturing, perhaps interested in trying to acquire it, but it's going to cost them to lose the mid-tier one.
Yep. Now Clit actually pathing towards this Baron pit. They do have vision available to Kingzone, so that's going to be cleared here as Tucson. Okay, just trying to get some buttons out of the SKT members. No flashes or anything are going to be acquired, as Shifting Sands is pretty good there for Faker, who does have a Banshee's Veil as well, which wasn't even hot, as that journey was made by the Leona.
And the vision is cleared out, at least.
No.
But, yeah.
That's a lot of Open Drakes. You'd think when the third one comes down that it's an Ocean Drake, not the case, because this one's going to Kingzone as the Baron going to be taken here.
For Trundle, not quite as high as he would like, but now SKT, they seem like they want to flip.
They're committing. Khan teleporting in. Tucson's going to make his way forward. Solar Flare going to land once again, but Teddy with a Captain Jack impression of his own, and they're going to get away scot-free with the Baron. Kingzone, hopefully they're taking notes.
Yeah, well, Kingzone, last game they said, you know what, we tried that. SKT took the Ocean Dragon, and we tried to get Baron, except this time SKT, they're going to be the ones that come out ahead inside of this trade. None of the members are going to die. And with this Baron in the current game state, look at the items completed on SKT. This can easily just turn into a Doom push. And if Kingzone loses the Vel'Koz or the Xayah in the fight, the game likely ends.
Well, Neon, thankfully, does have the iconic purchase of the Morella Nomicon.
He does.
So that is going to be a huge power spike.
Yep.
The book spike.
It's very important that he reduce the Trundle healing here. Okay.
I mean, look, he does have Subjugate.
Stop.
You have to try and tone down that subjugation.
He wouldn't want to dare try to just kill the Azir or the Kai'Sa.
No,
we don't do that around
here. No, it's not.
Absolutely not, no.
Where have you been?
Yeah, exactly.
Were you
but
over
the Silas healing Atlas.
Different region?
Yes, the Silas who...
Yeah, I mean, Kingslayer.
Right.
A lot of healing potential.
If the Silas is on top of him, he's probably dead.
Hey, Faker has heal. He actually took heal.
Yeah, let's see how applicable
and now Neon denies healing. I don't think it's any more black and white than that.
All right. You truly are a glass apple kind of guy.
I absolutely am. I'm certainly sticking on brand. As Khan doing the same thing. He's in the side lane. He's taking down some minion waves. As SKT have control everywhere. Kuz is going to be able to thread the needle on that Q. But even effort isn't a target that he wants to be diving into. Lee Sin is a passenger this game.
And this does look like it should be red buff going over to Teddy as Faker just sort of posturing around the bottom. They're trying to execute, but this is a very slow and steady 1-3-1.
Well, Deft's going to move on over. They're looking to try and get some damage here onto Khan, but Rascal just going to throw his head into a minion wave and just take more damage than he otherwise wants to. Khan safely disengaging.
Well, I guess... Okay, so Teddy just wants another item before he would want to fight. So he's going to go over and take the Wolf Camp.
Ooh,
no
more of
teleport available. Yeah, Maw of Malmortius. Who's Malmortius?
I don't know.
God.
Do you know who he is?
No.
Then why are you upset about me for not knowing?
You're supposed to be the one that knows, Alice.
Ooh.
Yeah.
That's actually not how our jobs work. It's precisely the opposite. In fact, I really wish you had read your contract.
Go ahead. Ask me what today is.
What is today?
August 1st.
Oh, boom, baby. Wow, it's August already.
I'm on point today.
Oh, how time flies when you're having fun with your best friend.
Absolutely.
Kingzone are wanting to slow time down a little bit. As Tectonic Disruption is going to land. Their Disintegration Ray, goodbye cleared, and that is why the Morellonomicon was purchased.
I knew it. That's why.
Take that, LS.
Yeah, he didn't even actually press R, by the way, so.
Shut up. He might have pressed W. He's got natural healing from his W, right? What are you saying?
I like it. I'm a big fan.
It got a buff in TFT.
It did.
Yeah, 3 to 5%.
Yeah, let's take a look at this again. As Kled, let's look at this.
Right on the edge of the Tectonic
Yeah,
Disruption.
right on it. He wasn't escaping.
Well, that's what happens when you're a life form and you're hit by a life form disintegration ray.
Thank you.
I mean, that does what it says on the tin.
All right. Let me tell you what's going on here, okay?
Give it
the Mountain Drake. Yeah, I'll give it to you. SK Telecom is going to pick up the Mountain Dragon.
Okay.
Then they will proceed to push in 2 more lanes. Okay. So 2 minion waves.
Okay.
Then there will be a dance for the Baroon. A team fight. And the game will end.
Okay.
Then the camera's going to cut to us. We're going to talk for a little bit. Stats come up on the screen. We talk for a little bit more.
And then we go to game 3.
And no, SKT is going to win.
Oh.
Yeah. Then we go to a winner's interview where we're joined by G-Sun.
Okay. And she's going to do some translating.
Hopefully someone asks her what happened to the real script.
Yeah. Well, I mean, then she'll have to answer, isn't she?
That's right.
Answer for a mistake.
All right. Here we go. Now let's enter the sequence.
Okay.
All right, Mountain Dragon. Now remember, 2 waves.
2 waves during the minute Baron will take to respawn.
Not this wave doesn't. The next 2 waves, by the way. Not this one. Right? So some people they try to do that.
Silly billies.
Yeah, exactly. Ridiculous.
Why would they ever?
Yeah. All right.
There's one.
Yeah. Remember,
clears out a wave of his own. Okay. 50 CS down, by the way, is the Xayah. Def not exactly having the greatest time after that initial gank. That first blood going over to SKT bottom side. To check in on the gold, 5,000 is the lead here for SKT. As we move in towards the late game. And that's a lot of damage dealt by Khan. What? Jeez, they've been fighting a lot.
Yeah.
Good old Rascal and Khan.
They've been going at one another.
Yeah.
That's what happens when a brawler sustain champion goes up against a straight up sustain champ.
Has Teddy actually done 3,000 damage this whole game? Champions? Is that what that said?
This is the one mistake and lose game, Atlas. Now, here it is, the last wave.
Oh, Teddy going to take some damage there as Tucson dives on forward. Does land the ultimate, but Effort dives into the back line. Tectonic Disruption a little bit out of sync as Rascal is going to be able to take down Effort. Faker has to flash. Hemoplague, not enough damage. SKT limp away, but they lose their support. Baron is just live. The hijacked Solar Flare, not going to be able to quite get enough done. As the geometry was navigated there by Khan. Tucson. He's in pop range as Teddy looks for the one-shot, doesn't get it. Tectonic Disruption once again avoided there by the supercharger from Teddy. Khan respecting the Q from Neon a lot there with the Zhonya's Hourglass, as now Kingzone are looking for the Baron. They've made mistakes here in the past,
Oh, they're taking a lot of tank damage from this.
Exactly, all of them down to half health. Faker's made his way back into this fight. Another E is going to land beautifully as the Xayah picks up the kill on the jungler of all people. Baron has reset though, and Rascal is going to go down. The Disintegration Ray is going to be utilized there by Khan, but not enough damage to take down Def, to eat some minion wave and get some of that health back.
And now the interesting thing is double Ocean with a Mountain Dragon. Oh.
Are we talking about ocean value here without having 3 Ocean Drakes? Is that what's happening right now?
Usually I don't do this, but SKT.
It got them a Baron buff. I have a feeling that we are subscribing to this Ocean channel now because, damn, SKT just got a hell of a lot of value from it and we'll be able to pick up another Baron.
Teddy is on the hunt. He's on the prowl.
He wants to get more than that 3,000 damage is what's happening.
Naehan's dead.
Yep, he's going to go golden, sees death. Is going to journey towards the afterlife. The inhibitor going to do the same thing here now as SKT with a Baron buff, with a minion wave, with only 2 Nexus turrets between them, and another 2-0 to add to their belts here. An 8-match winning streak. We're on the verge right now.
Look at Trundle on the minimap right now. You can actually see the SKT.
Doing wolf camp?
No, you can see the team calling because he's indecisive.
Aha.
Does he come? Does he not come? Does he push the bottom wave? Does he come? It's so funny right now. I can't wait to hear the listen in.
That is a cutie. That is a cute one. I like it. He's going to move straight down the mid lane.
He doesn't know what to do. He could already be there, maybe.
Yeah. Tucson at full health and is going to go in, but he's going to straight up miss the ultimate. That's a disaster. Tucson will be punished for it. Teddy locks down that kill now as it's just Nexus turrets on the minds of SKT. Rascal, last-ditch effort, just going to throw his life away though as Deft with a Guardian Angel, but not enough of one. No Guardian Angel going to save you from this one as Khan is going to get downloaded, but still able to lock down the kill, and the Nexus will explode. 2-0 SKT get revenge after the first round robin loss to Kingzone.
And a very slow 2 games in terms of the actual amount of action that unfolded inside of
winning the game, honestly. Yeah. Feels like on a dime, they're able just to turn and say it's time to win. Waiting for a minion wave or 2 in that mid lane was all between them, and very decisively going from just passively farming things out and slowly taking the game on to just instantly winning. And I really, really like that. The decisiveness of this team. It's been an SKT that's really fun to watch during the second half of summer 2019.
More of these highlights. This were some of the early skirmishes, and a lot of the problems this game for Kingzone is that they didn't utilize their team composition when it was going to be strongest against SKT. Yeah. In this game, they chose to play a very slow game. They handshook with SKT on that, and then Khan kept getting little micro edges by killing Rascal over and over with the assistance of Clid. And right here, another fight.
Yeah, starting off the game very, very well, though, was SKT, and it was off the back of Clid and his ability to out-jungle Cuz. Cuz has been up and down in recent weeks. He's had either great performances or woeful ones. This was not necessarily him being bad, but more like Clid just being a much better jungler in the early game. This time around, able to double scuttle 3 buff is always the sign of someone that's had a pretty good performance. And comes down towards the bottom side, and this was Khan just dunking on Rascal. Misses that abscond, but slams the chains down. And SKT, they feel like a well-oiled machine today. I say that as Clid gets caught out with the Disintegration Ray, but that doesn't really matter too much. SKT, they found the inroads when they needed to.
Oh man. Well, they end up walking away victorious as SK Telecom, and they can feel pretty good about this as the season does draw on. Kingzone don't really know totally what is going on. They went from being monsters to sort of floundering around.
There's been a few things that have been a little bit worrisome for Kingzone outside of the game, but we're going to have a listen in here. Listen for effort. Hear how vocal he is on this squad.
파워 치면 끝날겠는데? 파워 쳐볼래? 파워 쳐볼래? 내가 뒷라인 막고 할게. 좋았다, 끝. 야 점사.
끝내줘.
야 잡자 근데 잡자.
Get him. Let's end, let's end.
괜찮아.
It's okay, it's okay.
이제
Nice. You know, I wish that they played it a little bit sooner so we could have heard the trundle.
Yeah.
Come, and then no.
Whoa. Should I get bottom wave? I don't know. What the hell is that damage?
Well, Silas is, well, see, you said Silas and he got angry.
Aha. Why? You gotta drop that. I mean, we both said it.
No, we didn't.
Okay, whatever.
There's no clips that exist.
Alright. Well, 26.9k is a very, very large number for Khan, and that is going to mean, in my opinion, that he deserves an MVP for this one. Really great stuff from the SKT top laner, and really good to see Khan finding some performances here as SKT ramp up towards those playoffs. They are certainly in that position right now as LS. We're on camera, mate.
I'm checking something.
You were reading the script
I
on
was.
broadcast again.
Sometimes it happens.
You can't be breaking the fourth wall like that, man. Come on.
We're going to the
professional broadcasters. All right, whatever. We will go to that MVP interview. It will be with Khan. 7-2-3 on the Silas. Really put Rascal in the bin.
Yeah.
This particular game, this was an example of Hemoplagues traded and a Silas getting a hell of a lot of value with not that Flash, but with the King set.
Oh. Managed to eventually bring down Rascal. I like how Rascal knew. He knew that it was a done deal. He tries to flash away at the very end. And it just doesn't.
I think Khan actually used the Abscond because it was going to run out anyway. So used it a little bit early because it was right on the edge of being able to.
Well, right here. You like that Zhonya's? No?
Not really.
Alright, not too impressed right there. Doesn't really matter as Klidge was here to help out anyway.
Yep, we call that the Wabam.
Is that it?
Oh, no,
like
that's
Bam
actually,
Bam from the Flintstones?
No, we don't call that. The Wabam's already actually been coined.
Oh.
The Wabam was, of course, that's a Brendan Valdez line. I apologize, Brendan. I will never utilize your lines ever again. I'm going to think about it while Ji-san takes us through the MVP.
Thank you very much, guys. This is Season with the Never Translation, and we'll be hearing from Teddy, Khan from SK Telecom, taking down King Zone with 2-2-0 score. Teddy, how do you feel about this win? We got a very clean win, 2-0, so I feels really nice. So it was about going to the third place, or rather falling down to the 7th place. So was there any communication before the match with the players? Nothing really much, you know. Starting from the top down to the 7th place, the gap is not big, so every match really matters. So for today's series, Kingzone and SKT were both in a very similar position in the standings, so it was a very significant one. So it's a big relief that we were able to get the win. So in game number 1, in bot lane, this was Ezreal versus Sivir. Any thoughts on that matchup? I think Ezreal is more fun to play. Sivir is only about farming, so Sivir is like no fun. Ezreal has a lot of things to do. Sivir is more like just like holding up to waiting for it to get scaled up. So they're both have ups and downs. So actually Ezreal is in the lead in terms of LCK with 8 victories up against Sivir. So Ezreal is really good at like clearing the wave in the mid game, you know, in the mid line. So it's also really good to when you're actually behind, you can just like take the minion waves your skills. So maybe that's why he's leading the score. So over here, actually, Kingzone was initiating at first. So Kwan was going all in up against the opponent. So I made a late call that Sivir will be there. So we were a bit late for the backups, but in the end, I think we did it quite well. Well, during the games, I wasn't aware where the Sivir was, so that was mainly my mistake. However, all the rest of the teammates were really doing their great work for the backups, so I think props to my players.
정말 빛났던 SKT의 호흡이었고요. 그리고 2세트에는 상대가
So,
벨코즈,
moving on to
레오나도
game
정말
number
깜짝
2.
기회를 들고
Kingzone went
나왔어요.
with a lot of pocket picks like Valkos and Leona. So, did the coaching staff give you guys any advice before going into games? Well, nothing about the gameplays. However, you know, for the last pick in the red side, we are like picking after seeing all the composition of the Kingzone players. So I think I did quite a good job on that. So yeah, I'm a little bit satisfied. Then Teddy, how was the laning phase up against Leona? So for 2v2, it was a bit tricky, you know. However, in late games, we had better initiations in the opening fights, so I just farmed till late game.
네, 정말 잘 풀어냈습니다. 그리고 칸 선수가 2세트에 사일러스를 꺼내면서 이번
Kwan,
서머에서 처음 꺼내셨고요.
this was your first Silas game in Summer Split. So SK Telecom had a 3-way flex pick on Silas for top, jungle, and mid. So how do you read Silas in top lane right now? Well, it has a lot of counter picks, so you can't really blind pick it. However, like Mordekaiser, maybe if you're able to go for like later pick, it's still a viable pick.
잘 들었습니다. 자, SKT가 2세트에서 바론을 정말 날카롭게
So SK
가져갔었는데
Telecom, the Baron try was really on point. So
몰래 바론.
let's go through a replay.
네, 이때 오더는 누가 했나요?
That sneaky Baron, whose call was that? Well, Faker is always going with all the proactive plays. So I guess Faker or maybe Cliff. So that was the perfect timing for us to get that Baron.
테디 선수는 이게 좀 먹힐 거라고 생각을 하셨나요?
Teddy, did you trust that call? It was Faker that made the call. Well, Kingzone was really late to find out that we were on it, so we were able to get that Baron.
이렇게 SKT가 좀 더 단단해진 이유가
So SK Telecom is now looking so solid in terms of team play, and a lot of players have mentioned that teamwork is on point right now. So who's the best shot caller in your team? In terms of atmosphere, well, actually the coaching staff and the head coach Goma takes care of it a lot. But in terms of in-game wise, Faker actually mainly makes the calls, and also after games we also get feedbacks with sharing feedback with each other about our mistakes. So I cannot really just pick one. We all just doing our work, doing our best to kind of solidify our teamwork. Well, I heard effort being really calm, you know, hit the turret, but all the other players were going in for kills. Well, because we are older than him, you know, he doesn't really blame us, but he's a really serious person and I kind of like it.
자, 이제 다음 경기가 아프리카인데요. 이제
So your next match opponent will be Africa. Another win will give you the 10th victory of the split. So it feels super nice to pick up another 2-0 victory. I think we have 4 matches remaining, so I just want to win all the remaining ones. What about you, Khan? So we were on a 1-5 score in the beginning of the summer split. You know, we were a bit depressed and it was a very hard time. However, we were able to become even stronger throughout all of that. So we just want to do our best till the end of the split. Thank you.
네, 우리 선수들의 웃음, 또 팬분들의 웃음까지 만나볼 수 있었으면 좋겠습니다. 오늘 인터뷰
This will
감사합니다.
be the end of the interview with Teddy Khan from SK Telecom, and I'm going to pass it back to our casters. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Ji-sun, for your interview translation as always, and that is going to conclude our SKT vs Kingzone series, a swift 2-0 as SKT's rise continues. Who can stop them? I mean, there's only been one game that they've lost in the last 8 series. Just incredible stuff. Damwon, certainly a team that is looking out for an SKT to take down on their way towards solidifying their top spot, because right now they are there, but it is only 1 win ahead of Sandbox, SKT, and Gen G. And now we'll be facing the Africa Freaks to see whether they can extend it out by 2 victories, and that will be gigantic for Damwon. But if Africa wins, LS,
oh man, we got a spicy last couple of weeks.
Damn right we do. That will mean that our entire top 5 is only 1 match victory away from each other.
And you know, the other unfortunate thing is on the right-hand side, though, is that it's really just a battle between Hanwha Life and KT.
Yeah.
For who is going to join Jin Air in the relegation zone for Summer 2019.
At least that's relatively close.
Yeah, it is.
You know?
That one's a lot more close than the other.
It is.
The other side of the bracket.
Is. Super exhilarating relegation battle. That being said, 8 wins and 10 wins. It's all that's separating our top 7. Just insane stuff. When we get back from the break, guys, it's going to be a long one. But when we get back, it will be Dom1 taking on the Afrika Freaks. The Afrika Freaks with access to Talia, with access to Jace. You don't want to miss it. We'll be back in about an hour.